Let me whisk you back in time, my little meow pals, to a time where you were just kitties and your saucer had plenty of milk in it. Not like now when you look at your cat wife and her 12 nips all saggy from your 22 kitten kitties you put inside her that robbed her of her body.
Oh my God.
Now you both suffer from mange and the shine is long off your coats. But it was not always like this. It's 1993 and you're going down to Panama City Beach, Florida with your friends for spring break. It's just you and your bros, Chad Man, Keith Money, and Sprinkles, because you're cats. But
Keith Money's a cat name?
But two of you have kind of... Because you're cats, but two of you have kind of regular names. You get to your hotel, get changed in some floral board shorts, and you're ready to hit the town. You're getting your drink on, and the strobe lights are bouncing off you like lottery balls, and you're fucking feeling it.
Is it other cats?
All of a sudden...
Okay.
What?
Is it other cats at spring break, or are we the only
Yes!
Cats? Okay.
Duh. Pull your head out of your ass, Kinane. Clearly, this is a cat spring break episode. All of a sudden, whoop, parentheses, there it is, comes on. And the club goes apeshit. Everyone is rubbing on each other like 300 perverts on a crowded subway car. Even you are getting a few purrs on you. Eventually, she whispers in your ear, "Let's get out of here and go to the beach." You nod and leave the club. The beach is soaked in Florida moonlight. Also, just for our listeners' information, Florida moonlight is a pill truckers take to stay up all night and drive long distances. But for you, Florida moonlight is an aphrodisiac, and you guys fuck like cats in the sand, which is... Oh. You guys fuck like cats in the sand, which is crazy because the sand is texturally pretty close to kitty litter, so you kind of want to pee and poop in it instead of being... Cause I keep my thoughts not good. But you kind of want to pee and poop in it instead of putting your barbed penis to work.
Oh my God.
Anyway, 65 days later, you find out you're the cat father of 9 kids and you never even went to Europe. But it's not all bad. You made an honest cat out of her, and now you work in the mortgage industry, and it's 2008 and things are looking up. Anyway, today on the pod, we were talking about spring break. Yeah, I know, this one was really weird.
So is it cat mortgage, or is it mortgages for people? The crossover is what's got me fascinated about this intro.
I honestly, man, I don't know. The mic is falling, and I'm trying to fix it. Hold on.
I think this is going to be a mini episode. For those that don't
Here's
know,
the whole stand.
Shane is recording from Charlene's, which is why
I'm devaluing her electronic.
I mean,
Oh my God.
It came off. It's not my fault. You left for 3 seconds. What did you think was going to happen?
Well, I thought everything would be fine. Jesus Christ.
I didn't even touch it.
just hold it like a boom mic over his face.
Kyle says just hold it like a boom mic over my face.
The whole time. All right. Action.
Kyle, you're good with words. You know that, man?
I think the gym is dumb.
Did Rachel
was-
walk in the room? Of
it
course
was
I've eaten a
bad.
Baconator.
Man, if you ain't doing CrossFit, you can get cross-buff.
You're right. A long burger's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
That's your sitcom right there, as a Mr. Fix-It-All who just can't fix his heart.
We will not be defending Atlantic City.
No accounting for taste. If it's something that somebody loves, let's try and celebrate it instead of shitting on it. Been looking up dirty stuff? Protect your online activity today with a VPN rated #1 by Business Insider. They're inside of your business. Visit our exclusive link, expressvpn.com/NAFT, and you can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. Great deal. That's expressvpn.com/NAFT. expressvpn.com/NAFT.
This is no accounting for taste. And again, we're having trouble with the technical side of it. And we're back.
Ooh, I got.
This might be a new low for us.
I'm getting sore in the face, buddy.
Oh, man.
Oh,
How are you, pal?
Are we good? We're going?
Yeah, we have to. Who knows how long this could last?
Smart move. All right. Wow. Ooh, I was laughing real hard. For those, I don't know if it's going to get edited out, but visually watching a lamp fall over and a microphone just jutting towards Shane's face the one extra dick in a gangbang that has bad timing. Real can I be next in the orgy kind of energy with that mic just jutting into frame.
You probably like to go last when you're in an orgy, freak.
What does that mean? Speaking of orgies, spring break.
Kyle, tell them about your spring break experience.
Spring break, one of my favorite things to yell apropos of nothing ever.
Really?
Yeah, you just yell spring break. Just like when you shouldn't.
Spring break!
See? Yell it on the subway. Spring break!
Oh, yeah, that might be nice. You're right.
Mid-November.
Have you ever gone to a... Charlene left again, and I'm terrified that the ceiling fans are going to follow
Don't move.
me.
Shane, do not move.
Look at my hands. They're right here, and they're not touching anything. They're fine. I'm just holding them on my chest.
Hold yourself. The only spring break, I went to Milwaukee once.
Man, you really know how to... You went to Milwaukee for spring break.
Well, I was also going to community college. I mean, it's not like a lot...
I mean, that's fair.
It was me and my buddy Bob, and we're like, oh, man, we got spring break from College of DuPage. Like, fuck it, let's drive to Milwaukee. This is the extent of that spring break. I was house sitting my cousin's house. He'd just gotten married. I was house sitting. I did have friends over. One of them poured beer in the fish tank. I ate a lot of marshmallow peeps, and I threw up, and it was like all pink and purple all over the hallway of their new house. That was the spring. And then we went to Milwaukee and went to a music store and came home that same day.
That was your most spring break story?
It's the most I've done on a spring break ever.
Yeah. I think I don't really have a good one either. I mean, like, South Padre Island is in Texas, which I guess it's like a big spring break. I think it's off the coast of Galveston, but at least I don't think I ever fucked with it. Like, I think I would recall if I'd been to it, but I definitely didn't go for spring break.
Yeah, I didn't go to college in a way. Like, I went to a community college. I actually lived at college I failed out after less than a semester. The one time I tried to live at college, and then I just went off and on part-time, commuted to school. So spring break was just like, oh, cool, I can get some more hours at work.
Yeah, like it's like I can pull doubles at Denny's is kind of like yeah. Also, community college spring break. That's like we have margaritas the first day at a happy hour, and then everyone just goes back to their kids. Like, it's not. Yeah,
that was it. We were all 18. Nobody had fake IDs. Somebody had beer. We got drunk at my cousin's house. I threw up. House sitting. I was supposed to look after the house. I fucking threw up, and so my buddy poured beer in the fish tank. And that was that's the most college, like, community college spring break. I would watch it on MTV, and I would wonder, like, if this looks like it's fun, and it also looks like it's hell simultaneously.
Yeah, it always looked like on MTV. And there's we have plenty of information for that and the good and the bad coming up, but it always to me just looked like. I mean, I guess this looks fun, but then I would be like, I think I would hate everyone here. Like,
yeah,
it's fun to party, and the beach can be fun, and that's what I seem to think was like fun about it. But then, like, I would look at the spectacle of events on like MTV, and you'd be like, why are people doing this? Like, you know, like it would.
Yeah, if I was
just
at
like
a party
some bro with like a super soaker spraying people, you know, like.
Yeah, if I was at a party with 20 of these guys, it would be the worst party I could think of. Now it's a whole city.
It's 50,000 people, 100,000 people. Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this does seem like it's the older I got, but you know, as a kid, you're just 11. You're like, that's so many boobs. and
Yeah.
bands that I like.
That's the thing.
Great White and boobs everywhere. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait till I get to see until I get to go to spring break. But you're 11. You don't know.
And I'm assuming you're interested to change it drastically from 11 to
Well, I mean, the boobs stayed, but the musical taste and the company I'd like to keep changed. I actually remember going to Florida for like my dad had a convention or something for work, and we were down there, and I was like single digits of age, so it was still like it was spring break was happening, not full party spring break. I think we were like, it was like Clearwater or Tampa or something. But it was still a lot of spring break happening.
beach town college kids.
Yeah, but not like the crazy kind like Daytona or anything. But I just remember my mom being like, "Oh yeah, real convenient timing for this convention." It's just all these just
I'm gonna go make a man out of my son after.
Yeah, I did. I was like 7, so that stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm like, there's
real convenient timing.
Yeah,
she was. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I remember spring break being more like a thing when I was in like elementary school and middle school to me to be a thing to be excited about.
Yeah,
and it's like because I was just like, no school, that's fun. I'll play with my friends during the day. You know, like
yeah, spring break.
And then when I got to high school,
party.
I was like, I'm gonna sit here. You know, like I'm gonna like I was playing video game, like I didn't, or I was working. You know, I wasn't like going to take a trip in high school, and then in college I didn't really do college. So like my life was kind of spring break.
No, it was I didn't think my life was spring break, dude.
I got it tattooed here.
Because Christmas break was the holidays and it was cold. Spring break weather's getting nicer. I can't remember if kids in my high school did go to spring break. I think some of them did, and honestly, I think I think all the girls came back with the same look as like veterans coming home from Vietnam. Just like it didn't go well for them.
Yeah.
The horrors of large populations of irresponsible teens partying and how disgusting it can be.
It's there's a lot of found a lot of information on that kind of shit. But I mean, I remember a lot of my friends would go skiing. Like in high school, like because I guess spring break, which is like in March, so they would still go up to like Colorado or New Mexico or something when there was still some and it's off season because it was still like their parents could afford lift tickets and stuff because it was end of season
and the snow was more exotic living in Texas.
Then that's a very fair
than
point.
Going down the street.
Charlene, I called you Colleen. Did you ever do a spring break? Come to the mic. We don't know.
Don't touch.
Look, the mic is staying in one spot. I did a couple different spring breaks when I was in college. One, when I was a freshman, I didn't have that many friends, and I somehow agreed to go on spring break with a bunch of people that lived on my hall in my dorm. And we went to Florida, and they weren't interested in going to the beaches. They wanted to do tours of lighthouses. So we drove all over the place.
Were you staying in a retirement community for college?
Yeah, it seems like that, huh? No, I went to University of Georgia at that time, #1 party school in the country. And I went and toured lighthouses. Also, very important to note, the only music anybody brought with them was Color Me Bad. So for the entire week, we just listened to that TikTok Get Up Stop.
Yeah. Sometimes you see a lighthouse and you're like, I want to sex you up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Does that Color Me
Nothing
Bad?
puts you in a mood like a lighthouse. So then the next year, I was like, I am going on a real spring break. And then my friends were like, actually, we're going camping. And I was like, I've never been camping. Let's do it. And we went to St. Simon's Island off the coast of Georgia. And it was 10,000 degrees. So it was so hot that the dogs that were with us, I can remember their faces clearly to this day, looking up in pain as they stepped onto the beach because it burnt their paws. It was that hot. And then at night, I can remember going down to the mini mart and buying a really big Gatorade and then just sleeping with it because it was the only thing that wasn't 1,000 degrees in the tent.
Spring break!
Spring break!
Spring break!
Wow.
None of us were spring breakers. None of us did.
No, well, I think that is probably, why we're all friends, too.
Admittedly,
It takes
the
a certain kind of
lighthouse trip sounds kind of nice.
The lighthouse, yeah, if you're fucking 80. Oh,
It
God.
sounded like a pleasant time. Like, oh, you
It
kids
sounds
have fun.
awful. It sounds, I mean, not for 20. For 20, it's bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope this lighthouse serves as a port in the storm for some of you listeners.
What is
All right,
that? There's got to be like a 2-for-1 abortion special after spring break.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like
twins.
There's got to be like a numbers. There's got to be like, oh, it spikes. The numbers spike.
Oh, for sure. And defense lawyers. That's a busy season for them too, I'm sure.
I want to know how many kids are out there like just knowing their dad was just some guy who had just pounded a pina colada out of a plastic guitar in Daytona Beach. And that's the only thing their mom remembers about him.
We'll be right back with this word from our sponsors, ExpressVPN. Okay.
What's that in? Is that a break?
Spring break!
Spring break! Spring break! I'm never going to know my real dad! I'll tell you what, Shane, I use ExpressVPN because sometimes I travel overseas even. Some countries where they don't like you looking at stuff, but you still want to look at stuff. But they won't let you look at the stuff on account of their internet is real restricted. That's where ExpressVPN comes into play. That's why, even when I'm at home, I never go online without it because I don't trust that incognito mode. Incognito, they're still just looking at it, Shane.
ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so your ISP can't see the sites you visit. ExpressVPN also keeps all of your information secure by encrypting 100% of your data, 100% with the most powerful encryption available. Most of the time, I don't even realize I have ExpressVPN on. It runs seamlessly in the background. It is so easy to use. All you have to do is tap one button and you're protected. ExpressVPN is available on all your devices, phones, computers, even your smart TV, so there's no excuse for you not to be using it.
Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by Business Insider. Visit our exclusive link, expressvpn.com/NAFT, and you can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/NAFT. expressvpn.com/NAFT to learn more.
You look at weird stuff on the internet and you don't want anyone to know.
I look at what I want to look at. Good and the bad of spring. We're defending spring break. We're talking about why it's good.
We're now
back
we are
talking about spring break. Why is it good? I don't know.
Well, I did. Charlene found an article from. I got it right here. Sorry, the history of spring break of the spring break capital of the world, Panama City Beach, and it is from the local paper there. Thank you, Charlene. And really, it started as kind of a marketing thing, because they had these kind of I think he calls them shoulder seasons in the article, where they would get families in the summer, all summer, and they would maybe get them a few families during the week, but they really needed to
Okay.
So they were we got to push this, and then this guy saw the writing on the wall. He's like, we got to start marketing this to college kids, and then before he knew it, just ape shit got out of control real fast.
Especially East Coast, when you didn't in the early days when nobody was flying, but a day's drive you'd get there.
Oh yeah, and then
from all the colleges,
and then you rent a cheap hotel room with 6 kids.
Yeah,
yeah, but it was I think they said the number they would make the beach businesses would make millions and millions of dollars in the month.
Sure.
And then the rest of the year they'd be paid more. Like, it's like that. I guess it's kind of like, have you ever heard that like old wives' tale that any Irish bar in New York makes its rent for the year on St. Patrick's Day?
Oh, really? I mean, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like
I mean,
that's
you should get hazard pay if you're a bartender on St. Patrick's Day.
Okay. There was a saying in 1971 that if you shot a cannon down Fort Beach Road on Labor Day, you would. Oh, this is kind of small. Sorry. Fuck. You wouldn't hit a soul. So that's when this guy, Jack Bishop, opened the Breakers in 1971 and opened several other bars and restaurants, and he's owned them for 50 years. So he like owns the property and
So
everything.
he's still in it. Okay.
Yeah. People on the beach were broke by that time and they needed the income. So that's when this all came around. And then it started growing to hundreds of thousands to 200,000 people inside of a few weeks.
All right. So the good part is that we're not thinking about like the businesses actually struggled for a time in Florida in the springtime and in the fall when everybody's back in school, family. So, okay. So it started with a good idea.
Yeah.
Spring
and it got
break.
moving in the right direction. And then MTV became involved, which is like a massive thing. Like, I mean, that's how I remember a lot of spring break.
That's how Charlene's got all these videos. And I remember it was one of the first chances to see these bands live, just for like a fan of music. I remember seeing like Living Color and all them doing like these poolside, and they're all wasted too. I mean, I don't know if the bands are wasted, but I know the VJs and stuff, like everybody's drunk and like they're partying, and it was kind of unscripted and uncalculated. And there was something about watching TV where, like, okay, they're going to edit some things here and there, but there was a little bit of like, ooh, this is really this is happening.
Scandal. Yeah,
like this happened yesterday. They may have edited it last night, but they got it out today. Yeah. And so as a kid watching that stuff, it did get me excited. Like, oh, live music seems fun. Like seeing like, look at these, everybody, like I got caught up in it watching it as a kid. Not even like not even a horny kid. I wasn't even in puberty. It was like 9. Like 9, seeing bands perform live that you only saw them in their videos or heard them on the radio.
If you're not doing any of that stuff yet, it looks way cooler than it is. Like, I think if you haven't experienced it firsthand, it definitely looked way cooler than it is.
And it was a lot of newer bands too, because like MTV, like you'd still see like a live band on late night or something, but MTV was playing all these like heavy metal, hair metal bands.
Yeah, there was a lot of more cool shit that wasn't going to be on Carson.
Yeah, and you weren't going to see it live, and then spring break, like, oh, this band sounds like shit. This band sounds good. This band's crazy live. I think I remember seeing Red Hot Chili Peppers, Living Color, and they're like being maniacs. I'm like, oh, live music is going to be fun once I get to see it.
Well, excuse me. Do you want me to play some of these videos? Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
Charlene found a bunch of MTV spring break videos.
It did seem like that was going to be the best time in the world as a kid. Before you knew about sexual assault or roofing or like toxic like bro frat culture, before you knew about anything, that just looked like it was the best time in the world. Spring break looked like it was like for all the music, the beach, all like just people having
it's
fun.
What's cool. It's what's getting like what's getting like zoned into your brain. Like you're taking it. And if you grew up like, I mean, I grew up in Texas and you grew up in fucking Illinois, so like there's no beaches around most of us. No. And it looks like this cool kind of fucking sunbathed culture as opposed to like your shitty little redneck town or your suburb.
I'm a summer fan through and through from a young age. So like everything about summer, beach, video games. When California games came out, like TNC Surf Design, I'm like, I don't even like video games, but this video game you surf in, so I'm going to play this video game. Like, I was just about that. I still am to an extent of like summertime, like palm trees. All I needed as a kid for a vacation to feel good. I think we talked about this in the Florida episode. Like, let me see a palm tree and a beach. And I liked what air-conditioned air in a hotel feels like. Now I know it's like weird, gross, recycled air, but to me, I'm like, I'm on vacation. When you walk into a building that's so cold, artificially cold, that even in the middle of summer, you're like, it's too cold in here. Absolutely.
Yeah, there is like a strange relief in and being like exhausted from heat and then just walking into a hotel room and now, I mean, I'm sure my father loved this or my mom, just taking us into a room where they could blast the AC and know it wasn't going to affect their wallet any more than the rental of the hotel room.
Yeah,
just fucking turn it up, baby.
We're gonna bury the Super 8 in electric bills. Yeah, I like the feeling that I might get pneumonia in the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah, because under the thinnest blanket that any hotel has ever. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about that. So.
Yeah. Do you? I'm trying. Like, I don't have any real spring break memories. That's like
I didn't do anything.
Yeah. Well, we do have something here. The rise and fall of Atlanta's most infamous street party, Freaknik. Do you know about Freaknik, Kyle?
I remember hearing it, and I just thought Freaknik was a cool name.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And what it is basically Black Spring Break in Atlanta from
Black Spring Break.
It started in '83 as a picnic, and then it kind of like eventually took on a life of its own, where people like. I mean, Charlene, you're from there, so you can comment on this more probably. But
yeah, so basically, if you can imagine like the same exact crowd from Spring Break Daytona,
but black
in the streets of Atlanta with no plan or street closures or anything like that. They just took over. Everyone just took over the city. It was kind of awesome, to be honest with you.
But it became gradual, right?
Yeah.
It was like at first it was like a HBCU kind of thing where they would meet in Piedmont Park,
right? And then people from all over the country started coming, and then it got really, really big. And then like
200,000 people in a weekend is what they're saying.
Yeah, and like any spring break, stuff happened and whatever, and they ended up shutting it down. But while it lasted, it was a good time.
Yeah. I think the thing we're learning is that any amount of young people that is massive with a shitload of booze is going to be an issue, and horrible things are going to happen.
Did Mardi Gras is before spring break?
Yeah. And Mardi Gras ends on Easter.
It's like it ends on Easter, right?
Yeah. So it might like flood in a touch.
Is there some overlap?
Because maybe by a week, because there's no official spring break. I think it's just like end of March, early April, maybe starts in April.
Okay, this overlaps. I do remember I went and I was trying to get back together with an ex, and she had become a groupie for. Remember that show Bands on the Run on VH1?
Yeah, the band that won was from my hometown.
Which band was it?
Flicker Stick.
That was the band that my ex became a groupie for. And I followed.
We have a small world.
You didn't bang any Flicker Stick groupies, did you?
Hold on.
Uh-oh. I know we're talking about spring break, but it sounds like we might be Eskimo brothers.
Flicked my stick.
No, I remember
Black
going.
Spring Break!
I remember going to St. Louis and some other city to with her to see him at it was like Mardi Gras spring break time, because somebody's like, oh, St. Louis has the second biggest Mardi Gras party.
Well, because they share the river. Yeah.
Is that the only reason?
I mean, I think that's how it came to be, that they got such a Mardi Gras influence in St. Louis.
Okay, I had no idea.
Yeah,
but that's now I realize. But I'm like, I'm just remembering that memory happened around the time.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
And it was bad. I just
saw Flicker Stick. Man, you must have been in the worst fucking mood.
I was, and I remember being on their bus, and I'm like, I'm gonna try and drink all the alcohol they have out of spite, and that's just what I tried to do. Was drink all of Flicker Stick's booze. I was just drunk as shit on their bus. Like, your band is mediocre at best.
They were complete '90s radio. They
had a couple of tunes. They had a couple catchy tunes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
but they were
I'd like to buy the world a Coke and lie here
that's
naked with my girl.
What a horrible lyric. What an absolute horrible lyric.
Yeah. But some real branding opportunities in there.
They forced their hand. But anyway, I just remember like that was like, oh yeah, I got some time off of work. Let's try this out. And just that story didn't have anything to do with spring break. It just happened in the spring. Sorry. And it was bad. So it goes along with the bad. The bad part is spring break.
That's spring break.
Best spring break ever. There was, man, Charlie, you had something in here that the stats were awesome.
Freaknik.
Spring break history. Oh, this might be it. But, yeah, I think Freaknik was like a curse of it being like they talk about how it like was like starting to racially divide the city because it was like HBCU kids and black youth were like partying, and then like some of it wasn't planned well, and then white business owners were getting upset about it and all this kind of shit. And then some of it is just them having fun, but people being horrified too. There's a little bit, but there was a quote in this article that said this woman was like, people would cruise and women would like lay down on cars and just sunbathe because traffic was so bad. And that she was in her car and an ambulance was coming through, and she tried to get out. She was getting out of the way, and then the car in front of them where these women were sunbathing on the hood and the trunk were just like, the ambulance driver got on the PA speaker. It was like, move, there's a man having a heart attack. We need you to move. And they were like, no. And they just, yeah, like really horrible. She was like, it changed. Like, I used to think it was something we put up with, is what she said. And now I found it to be a nuisance. Yeah. Which is like,
well, that's the thing. I mean, the bad parts of the spring break are very bad. And I don't think they overtake the good. I don't think the good parts overtake the bad parts. I don't think the benefits outweigh the risks of what spring break was.
Well, the benefits aren't for anybody but the people who are selling beer, mostly, and own hotels. Like,
but even if you own a hotel, it seems like they would just get trashed.
Oh, that's the article I'm looking for. I can't find it, but there was like a lot of shit in here about like.
Well, they talk about a documentary called Spring Broke that was on Showtime from 2016, and I think I did watch that, and it was talking about the history of like, oh yeah, this is sleepy town. Let's, like you said, try to generate some business, and then the guys, the profiteers that were just seeing where the money was to be made, but not in the regards to the safety. Of the students. And I think about like before you had to put down credit cards for deposits, and before I let somebody get a hotel with my credit card, some kids that were like 18 and I was 21 or something, where I'm like, yeah, I'll sign for the hotel room for you guys. I'm a cool dude and people should party. And then I got a Furious hotel. I'm still banned from it's not even a Days Inn. It was a Days Inn in Addison. I let these kids party there, and like somebody shit in a hot tub and did like everything you would do if you weren't responsible for a hotel room and you were drunk and 17 or 18 years old.
Yeah.
But I stopped by earlier in the night and had some drinks, and then I left like, I'm like, they're just partying like how you party. And then I was on the hook for that.
This is from that same article. It says the honeymoon for Daytona Beach and student spring breakers ended in 1989. When an estimated 400,000 visitors descended on Daytona Beach during a roughly 3-week period, transforming the event from a mere annoyance to a genuine public safety hazard. 8 people fell off balconies, one fatally. Fights broke out. 3 hotels were shut down amid reports of urine, vomit, and feces in the hallways and stairs, according to reports at the time. March 18th, 1989, truly to me was one of the most challenging days of my career, John Curvin, the county's chief beach ranger, said. Spring Broke documentary, by the end of the day, that every guy or girl who was working with me had a torn shirt or a bloody shirt. We were busting at the seams. So again, it's like they come down to party, which you expect, but then like, do you think kids are any worse or better than they were about this stuff? Well, do you think it got as
I don't know where I don't know what happens now for spring break. I don't know if people still party like that. I know Amsterdam was putting a moratorium on tourists because it's the same thing, not because it was spring break, but it was people going there to partake all the legal weed, but then not knowing how to behave.
Yeah.
And being, out of control and throwing up everywhere and all that. So where I'm sure there's still some element of spring break.
Yeah. I wonder.
MTV.
Go ahead.
MTV still has spring break. I was shocked when I saw it today, but they moved it to Vegas, I want to say.
Vegas is built. That's where the infrastructure is.
Yeah,
Go to Vegas.
It's ready for that. Yeah.
They got vomit gutters everywhere. They know what's going on.
Yeah. Not so bad.
They're built for it. Yeah, that's a city built for
I guess that's the other thing is
misbehaving.
like if you move to a sleepy little beach town and then 400,000 drunken assholes come out. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah.
I like so there's beach rangers. I like the idea of being a beach ranger.
Go on.
You're like, well, you're like a park ranger. Like, I would keep the hat, but give me some shorts. Just range.
Yeah, that's
just
it.
Out there,
I mean,
just out there ranging in some flip flops. Probably
Kyle,
probably get an ATV.
Would you like to hear about some of the greatest things that MTV Spring Breaks events ever were?
You bet. I probably watched them.
Okay, let me find one. This is a pizza tug of war.
I tried that video. Didn't work.
Well, every generation of adults seems to complain about the debauchery that MTV presents. The particular brand of insanity that Daytona Beach Spring Break years presented was pretty next level. Here is John Stamos and Jennifer Tilly refereeing a spirited game of tug of war over a pit of pizza. Did we mention there's a monster truck involved? If anybody, we can't find this video, but if anyone can find this video, it is something that I want to know what it looks like.
What, looking back now, what is now was deemed very tame, I'm sure, but like they used to have like a guy and a gal run into a dressing room, like a portable dressing room. They have to put on each other's clothes and then like come out like a wet t-shirt contest. That's the idea of a wet t-shirt contest being exciting to kids that are just watching like tentacle porn.
Yeah, it's a little
I can only watch transgender people fuck themselves with dragon tail dildos to get off, but your shirt's wet. That was a big deal back in the day. That was hot stuff.
It really was.
Old man Kinane says that was hot stuff back when.
Well, at least you aren't touring lighthouses. MTV Beach Brawl. Just the name alone incites a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spring Break has also served as something as a bit of a pop culture time capsule, which is true. And I read this earlier. So apparently they invited wrestlers from WCW to beat the shit out of each other while Fear Factory played ringside. And you didn't see her. Apparently, there was not much coverage of anything. It's mostly kids like dancing around, and then every once in a while, a guy with bleached blonde hair looking like Mickey Rourke would fly through the air.
Also, what year was this?
This year was 1999.
That's on like think about the progression of like what party music was. Like in the 80s, a lot of the party music, like pop music, was still like everybody's thing. Like I can't imagine Fear Factory
was half of these kids' thing at spring. Like
I thought it'd be my
if there was 400,000
bumping
people,
grinding jams,
Yeah, like you want to listen to Fear Factory, who's like I think their big song is called "Big Truck." Or that might have been somebody else, but it was. You get the idea. It's like it's all the same era of like dun 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 dun. Listen to the new metal episode, everyone.
But that's what I mean. I can't imagine like what music like these kids want to party, and now it's just like I think wrestling and Fear Factory would be a lot of fun. But if I'm a dude that went to spring break, I'd be like, man, I'm watching a lot of guys. Sure, I'm watching a lot of slick dudes roll around with each other. I think I'm missing the point of being at spring break.
What? Yeah. Why are there no one's yelling Jello shots?
Yeah, my boner looks weird at this Fear Factory concert.
Well, also the idea
supposed
of
to
just
point
being
it
like,
towards the ocean.
I don't even understand like the programming. Like, yeah, at all. It just
Well, I think also you
like,
had like
wrestling's hot, Fear Factory's hot, Spring Break is hot. 3 hot things equal we're gonna sell a lot of fucking soda.
well, wrestling, like that was, I don't know that much about wrestling, but I think it's obviously it's massive. Fear Factory, you had like Woodstock 99, because we all saw, and you forget that was the era of like Limp Bizkit and all this other shit. So probably this was, again, like the new band of that genre that was like aggro. It was, I mean, God, that Woodstock 99 documentary, both like talking about how it's just like aggro dude music.
Yeah, well, this is
Spring
Break is Woodstock 99, the music festival. It seems to be like
yeah. So there is, I forget that at that time that music was still like, no, this is what is popular, is that aggro dudes.
It's very bizarre and true. I
don't know the benefits of Spring Break, but we're only thinking of it in terms of the 80s and 90s MTV Spring Break. I think in terms of like you're about to, you're studying hard for the end of the year. You want to blow off some steam. I guess that is kind of the reason it was put into the student curriculum, right?
Yeah, it was like stressing them out or something. But I guess what you can take from it is that if you're in college and you're a stressed out med student, you get 1 week off to go party or something. Like maybe it helps the individual more than maybe it's good for an individual than it is for a massive group, that whether that individual is like one of 400,000 people at a beach community, or they decide to stay home and rest, or an individual who owns one bar, like in this, like,
I would love
maybe that's
to
how
know,
it's good.
Yeah. I would love to know the majors of the people that fell off the balconies.
Oh my God. Majoring and partying.
Yeah. I don't think we were losing, brain surge. I don't think the neuroscientists.
No. Spring Break!
Oh no. Another inevitable realtor.
That's true. Like, another
that guy was 31. Why are you
another guy
here?
Another guy who would have run a sunglass hut into the ground. Oh man, yeah. So I guess like finding the good, I think, is like it's got to be from person to person and not in a massive group setting. Like
I remember being like just in the post spring break stretch of school, like, all right, we're done. Summer's coming, baby.
Yeah,
like
it is the Thursday of school breaks.
Yeah,
like,
it really is. Yeah,
yeah.
I would struggle with like the seasonal shit in Illinois, and like even if it was shitty weather, I'm like, yeah, but it's getting there. I'm doing it right now in Oregon. Like it's got to change soon. It's got to change. It's spring break.
Black spring break for Kyle Kinane.
Black spring break. What'd you say? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. No, it's fine. I think maybe we figured out a title for this episode.
It's like black metal. It has nothing to do with race. It's just it's like a super heavy depressed version of Spring Break.
Spring Break Seattle. What do you guys want to do? I don't know. Nothing.
We only go out at night.
All right. Should we jump over to the callers?
Let's go to the callers and see if they got anything positive to bring to Spring Break.
All right, guys. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor. Trojan condoms. Use them this spring break. Well, we're back. I'm recording. We're recording. I'm recording at Charlene's house with Charlene because I'm in town. And so I apologize for the lack of sound effects this week, but she hasn't told us. She forgot to tell me.
You gotta have one default fart button. I still check the iTunes charts to see if like any of my albums still exist in an actual being sold. And it's refreshing to see like the top 10 is always gonna be like George Carlin and like all the usual suspects, but now like every third album is like fart sound effects, volume 36, Wet and Wild. Like it's like, oh, I'm not so upset that mine aren't really in the rankings anymore. Like this is what people pay for. This is where the money is.
Speaking of Wet and Wild, we're talking about Spring Break on this episode. No Accounting for Taste.
Break.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah, what?
We got a few callers.
I lost my light. Uh-oh.
Oh, so you're not the only one having shit fall down on you.
Yeah, my light just burnt out. I still look all right. We're good. We're fine.
Yeah. It's the end of the pod. You want to listen? Kyle, you want to hear long story or jealous? They're addictive. I kind of get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Here's our first caller.
I mean, of course that was going to happen.
It felt fun. All right. Here's our first caller for real.
Nobody's listening now. I think it's hilarious. And
This is what they tune in for. Okay, I got to be done. You're giving me too much power. I'm drunk with power. This one's called Long Story.
Sounds like you're gassy with power.
Hey guys, this is Casey from Washington State. Love the show. I was just listening
Thank you.
to the tattoo episode, and see, it was in 2010. My brother was 27 at the time. Him and a bunch of buddies went to Vegas for Halloween. And they stayed in costume the entire time. I mean, flying down, flying back the whole time. Did massive amounts of cocaine. And he describes it as him being a very bad person. He ends up coming home with matching butt tattoos with his friend that says Vegas 2010 bitch on it.
Vegas 2010, bitch!
Is that the end of it?
No, there's more.
Okay. I was like, this is the wrong holiday, wrong subject, but I like the story.
The energy's the same, I think.
Yeah.
I can see how she got there.
So now he's in his 40s and has that on his ass still. Keep it up. Love it. Bye.
Thank you very much.
I
Not
think
Spring Break.
Okay,
Not-
but maybe Spring Break teaches you to like, you'd watch the idea. I'm trying to spin it. Let me try and spin it. You'd watch the idea of Spring Break, look at this group of friends that went and had fun as a friend vacation. I wouldn't go to Spring Break, but I would take a trip with my friends. That makes you want to go out and organize something.
Yeah. I'll take. There is camaraderie, and I'm sure there are plenty of people who have lots of good things to say about Spring Break experience.
Yeah.
Charlene loves lighthouses. And,
I remember my sister went to Spring Break and like went to Cancun, and like the amount, like the effort of like, oh, I guess we'll go see a pyramid. Like just her just hungover, being like trying to do one cultural thing.
mm-hmm.
And I just imagine like just the hordes of just hungover, just, this is where they played soccer with a human head. Bro!
All right. This is our next caller.
This is actually kind of a nerdy response. I'm kind of jealous that there are more alternatives than just going to Daytona or wherever else in Florida and puking your guts out for a week. I think there's lots of volunteer opportunities now where, kids can go build houses for humanity or, go do something in a third world country.
Hey, how about that? We found something positive.
I know colleges also have classes that have a built-in component for a field trip during spring break. So maybe you're going to, Ireland to do something, or you're going to Colombia to do something, collecting something, viewing something, I don't know, something other than, something more constructive or more interesting than the Florida route. Anyway.
Sounds like you're doing something constructive during the call. That's a good. Thank you for the call. That's a good call.
Yeah, like they're pre-planning for spring. Like that's a good one, actually. Like you can go out and you could spend your time during spring break doing something positive and constructive for people. I guess
I know,
getting fucked
but
up.
I could like as much as spring break, the concept of it, like South Padre or Florida or Panama City, seemed horrible to me as like a 21-year-old. If I was also like in college and you're like, you got a week off. Do you want to dig a trench for fresh water?
Yeah.
And be like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I don't, me personally, I'm glad there are some good people out there. I know I'm not one of them.
We are not the type to dig into the big stuff.
No.
I am. I did Habitat for Humanity spring break 3 times, but I forgot until she said that.
You forgot that you worked for Habitat for Humanity 3 times.
Well, I lived in Georgia. That's where it's from. So everybody's done Habitat there.
Oh, yeah. You had to help that peanut farmer.
Your 4 college spring breaks were 3 were Habitat for Humanity, and then you drove around and looked at lighthouses?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Did you catch old age from Jimmy Carter when you were building those houses?
He's an American hero. You shut your mouth.
He's a sad little peanut farmer who hasn't done shit. That's not true.
He's got a Nobel Peace
so
Prize.
much. You're such an honorable man.
Okay, well, fuck me, spring break, Jimmy Carter. Spring break is no Jimmy Carter.
Fuck me, spring break, Jimmy Carter. Yo, let me get some of that spring break Jimmy Carter dick. Fuck me, black Jimmy Carter.
We have to edit that out.
No, we don't. That's a soundbite for the show.
Oh, my God.
What's the essence of No Accounting for Taste? Fuck me, black Jimmy Carter. Fucking dig for my peanuts with your lighthouse. I don't know what. This show's over.
It's a bad episode. It's fun, though. Content was good. Anyway, Kyle, tell them where they can see you.
This week, the 4th of May, Bell House, Brooklyn. Second show added. 5th, White Eagle Hall, Jersey City. This Friday, Cinco de Mayo.
Ooh.
Mexican spring break.
Orale, cabron!
You can say it. I can't.
You yelled black spring break. I don't think you can.
I told you it doesn't mean black. It meant death metal.
And I will be available for all. I don't know. I got shows coming up. ShaneIsAComedian.com. Shane Torres on all the social media sites. Follow our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. I'll be in Denver at Comedy Works downtown May 17th through the 20th. And I'll also be at the Sandman Comedy. Well, no, this will come out after that, so never mind. I'll be at Limestone Comedy Festival with somebody else on this podcast.
Ooh, Charlene, congratulations.
And
fart sound.
Oh, sorry. My bad, Kyle. I'm new to the fart sounds. And you might see me hanging out with somebody at the Bell House or somewhere around there.
We might. Nobody believes that you're new to fart sounds, Shane.
This has been the No Last Accounting episode of No Attack. I fucked it up too.
Black Jimmy Carter!
I'm Shane Torres. He's Kyle Kinane. She's Black Jimmy Carter. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Share it with your friends. We need all your help we can get. This is No Accounting for Taste. Next week, we're talking about religion. All right.